everybody, my name is Jenna and today I'm here to talk about my top 5 OMG moments from the latest episode of season 4 of The 100. This episode, episode number 4, was titled A Lie Guarded and involved some pretty big, shocking-ish moments, but also like death and destruction, and it was just all around a really good episode and I really enjoyed it. As always, massive spoiler alert for everybody who has not yet seen the latest episode of The 100, but also kind of a spoiler alert for everyone who hasn't seen anything up until this point. So my advice is to go catch up on The 100, then come back, watch this video and discuss it all with us. So I have a lot to talk about this week, so I'm just going to dive right in. Top 5 OMG moment number 1, Nyko. I was not expecting Nyko's death. I will tell you that right now. That is something that I was just not expecting. So I was actually watching it in the study and my sister sort of came in right at the moment where Nyko was shot like multiple times, and I was just sitting there going, oh my goodness, like no, and she was just looking at me like, dude, what even is this show? And so then I tried to explain it to her and she went, I'm out now. But still, Nyko, I mean, he was the sweetest recurring character that we've had, like all the way back from season 1. He's literally the grounder in season 1 that Octavia threatens in order to, no, must be season 2. Do we meet him in season 1? Now I'm confused. Actually, it could have been, yeah, it could have been season 2 that we met him. Now it must have been season 2 when they were looking for Lincoln. Anyway, that's really not the point. The point is Nyko died. I'm gonna miss him pretty hardcore. I am gonna miss him so much. Basically though, because I haven't really talked about why he died, so he died on the island that a couple of them, well I say a couple, but a group of them have travelled to, because that's where Becca's lab is, and of course they're trying to manufacture more Nightbloods using Luna's blood. So Nyko was there with Luna obviously, and they started getting attacked by all of these drones, and so he sacrificed himself to save Luna, and so he was shot and killed in the process. And it was just so unexpected. Like, they were getting shot at by drones and I thought, oh yeah, you know, that's, but then he just died and I was like, okay, wasn't expecting that. So that was definitely a shocking moment from the episode, and it was one that I'm really sad about. Let's take a moment of silence for Nyko. Top 5 OMG moment number 2, the alliance is broken. To be honest, I'm pretty mad about this because it's literally been like 4 episodes and already Rowan's just like, nah, Sky Crew aren't gonna help me. I have to take everything for myself. I'm just gonna break the alliance, kill everyone in Sky Crew and Tree Crew. I'm assuming Tree Crew here is Lex's old group, because obviously they're the ones that sort of started working really closely with Sky Crew. I'm assuming that's what it means. I'm still a little bit fuzzy on all the different names. Like I know there's Tree Crew and Sky Crew and Asgeta and another type of crew. The Grana language is so confusing. Basically, in this episode, Rowan finally found out that the Sky Crew people all they've sort of been doing so far, while they are still looking for another way to stop the radiation, particularly now that they've got the Nightblood solution sort of in their heads, but he found out that they were basically just building this spaceship and that only 100 people could, well, he didn't know that only 100 people could survive, but like he found out, and he found out because he has Bellamy and like this other guy just like tied up all of a sudden because they were hunting in the Kingswood or whatever. But no, that was the most convenient plot point ever, and so now because of that he's like, the alliance is broken, we're gonna keep Kane and Bellamy as hostages, we're gonna kill this other guy, we're gonna kill all of the others like Octavia and Indra and all that. Thankfully Indra was gone and thankfully Octavia escaped, but still, it was a little convenient for me. I don't know how I feel about it. I guess that they needed a way to sort of bring in more conflict, because obviously just having them try to fight the radiation isn't enough. So it doesn't surprise me that Rowan sort of leads them off this, you know, this way, but at the same time I am pretty disappointed with him and with how that all turned out. But from that came like the cutest thing ever, and I kind of picked up on it to begin with, but then not really. It wasn't until I was watching the promo for next week and I was reading through the comments on YouTube, and everyone's just going on about how they think that Kane is like Bellamy and Octavia's father. I don't know where that theory came from, and I don't think I believe it. But even if he's not, he definitely has taken on that sort of responsibility, I feel. I feel like he feels responsible for them, because he was like really cute with Octavia. Well, not cute with Octavia, but he basically treated her like his rebellious teenager, like sit down. I went, this is so cool. But also, he was pretty cute to Bellamy as well, because he didn't really care about the other, I mean, he cared about the other soldier once the other soldier died, but to begin with, he only cared about Bellamy. He was just like, are you okay? And I was just sitting here going, I'm not okay. But you know, that's also because in this episode episode we had like the tiniest cabby scene because they talked to each other over the radio and said stay safe, and I just like nearly died from that one conversation, but that's me. Cabby shipper. Top 5 OMG moment number 3, the island. This island is weird. Like, I was not expecting, I mean, I knew that obviously it had the bunker, and then I knew it had Becca's, I'm assuming it's Becca's mansion, the one that Ali sort of kept pristine and all that, but like a lab as well, and a fully functioning lab at that after 100 years of no one but an AI tending to it. I don't know how I feel about that. I kind of feel like, no, that's not really, it's not really a thing that like could occur, but for the sake of this show and for the story, I'm just not gonna question it. I'm just gonna go, yep, that's fine. There's totally a lab with not out-of-date products and things that are totally sterile and good to use and are still working after 100 years. Of course there are. And basically, like I said earlier, this group, which consists of a kind of random assortment of people really. So it obviously consists of Abby and Jackson because they're like doing the Nightblood thing. Consists of Luna because of her Nightblood. Used to consist of Nyko, but you know, sadness. It also consists of Raven because apparently genetic code and computer code are exactly the same thing. Like, I don't know about that. I did do biology in high school and I'm pretty sure they're not that similar. And then Miller is one of the like soldier people. And then also like Murphy and Amori. I know that both of them had been on the island before and I guess that's why they're coming, but like still kind of a random little addition there. Although Amori did say something interesting that she thinks that she and Murphy should sort of go into the bunker and like restock the bunker because they can ride out the radiation in there, and that's so true, but I honestly think that they will kill each other in there, but that's just my opinion. In saying that though, I am super curious about this island and what they're going to do here because I didn't really realize, I guess they probably told us this in season 3, but clearly I was too like, oh my god, about what was going on that I didn't sort of pay attention. I didn't realize that Becca had actually turned herself into a Nightblood in order to like put the flame in the back of her neck. I had always sort of wondered how like Nightbloods had come to be, because obviously Nightbloods, they literally have black blood, like that's weird. And I was always wondering about that, and clearly, you know, people like Ontari and Luna, they've come about from being descendants of Nightbloods, but it was sort of odd how Becca became one, so it's really interesting to learn that she actually turned herself into one. So I think that will be really, really interesting to see how Abby goes at recreating that and hopefully, you know, saving everyone, but we'll see. Top 5 OMG moment number 4, Montys Announcement. This is another one that was a little bit odd for me this week. So I could have told Clark that writing that list was such a bad idea, especially if she was going to put herself and Bellamy on the list. But I think that having the list and like not locking it away, I mean, yes, breaking into the Chancellor's chamber is something, but like you still don't leave the list kind of hanging out there. You put it like at the bottom of a locked drawer. You put it in the most secure hiding place you can think of. Even better, you just kind of keep it on your person. But it was weird for me that Monty was the one to read out the announcement. I thought that was very important because obviously everyone would have expected it to be Jasper. So to see Monty take that initiative and go ahead and just be like, I need to get this out here because you are blatantly lying to people and you are giving them false hope, and that is not okay. That was a really strong moment for Monty, I think, especially after everything that he's been through. So now I think Clark's definitely in a little bit of a pickle, but somehow Jaha managed to like smooth everything over. And when did that happen? When did Jaha become a person that everyone listened to? Like, after all he did with the City of Light, I would not be listening to him, but you know, somehow for some reason they are. So I think that situation has been solved for now, but I do feel like it's going to come up again in the future. And top 5 OMG moment number 5, Octavia. My friend messaged me while she was watching the episode, but before I had, so I actually didn't get to watch it like I normally do because I had a lot of work commitments, but she messaged me when she was watching it and she goes, Jenna, I think they just copied the Lord of the Rings. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about? And then I watched the episode and I saw the scene with Octavia's fight with Echo. And now I understand why she thinks they copied Lord of the Rings, because basically Octavia runs from Polis because, like I said earlier, Rowan had sort of turned on them, so she was fighting for her life basically. But Rowan wanted her alive. Rowan definitely wanted her alive, and even Echo was like, look, you come back with us now, you're gonna live, it's all cool. Octavia being Octavia is like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm a badass warrior girl. So she starts fighting Echo. As great as Octavia is at fighting, she was always gonna lose against Echo. I think that's always just, that's what was gonna happen. She was always gonna lose. And so she gets stabbed in the stomach, which in itself is a pretty bad wound. Then she falls off a cliff, which again, it's pretty bad. Like, it's a long drop, basically. It's so big. And I was like, look, I'd be upset right now, but we've seen Octavia in the trailers that came out in a million scenes that we haven't seen yet. So we knew she wasn't dead yet, but it was still a pretty like heart-wrenching scene. And what made it so much worse is when Echo, she didn't really say it in as many words, but when she like pulled out the sword in front of Bellamy and Bellamy turned around and you just saw his face and you knew he knew, and he just, oh man, that scene, that was heartbreaking. That was showing how good of an actor Bob Morley is. I knew she wasn't dead and I was crying because like, wow, that was just, even thinking about it now, just wow, that was wow, literally all I can say. But getting back to the Lord of the Rings thing, towards the end of the episode we saw down the bottom, you know, this hand and this horse licking the hand, and then I was like, yep, so she's alive and she's gonna get on the horse, and that's Lord of the Rings in a nutshell. Well, one scene anyway. So yes, Alana, they did copy Lord of the Rings, but also it was awesome, so I don't care. There you have it. Those are my top 5 OMG moments for the latest episode of the 100. Let me know in the comment section below what your top 5 OMG moments were. As always, I'm going to leave you with 4 questions that I hope get answered in the coming episodes. Question number 1, will Octavia make it in time to warn everyone? My honest guess is going to be no. Like, she's pretty beat up. Question number 2, what exactly is Amori so afraid of in those woods? She tells us Murphy there's more than just the drones to be afraid of. What? What is so scary? Especially because Raven gets the drones working again. What exactly is on that island that they should be afraid of? Because I feel like that little group is going to have that conflict to deal with. Question number 3, how exactly are they planning on manufacturing new night blood and then transfusing it into everyone in time to save everybody? Because I'm pretty sure that's like impossible. Not impossible, but very, very, very improbable. And question number 4, when did Jaha become so wise? And when did I actually start liking the guy? I thought for sure I was going to hate him non-stop this season, but all of a sudden he's the one spouting of wisdom and just being like really good at everything, and I don't know how to feel about him anymore, and it makes me really anxious. Thank you so much for watching. Again, let me know in the comment section below what your top 5 OMG moments were and also what you think the answers to my questions are. I would love to know. If you like this video, be sure to give it a huge thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss a thing. Stay random. Bye.